Your aura is not built by chance. It is built by habit. Every day the world reads you, not by your words, but by your discipline. Weak men talk of change. Powerful men force it. They forge themselves in routines that others call unbearable. That's why their aura commands attention. That's why they walk into a room and everything bends. Machiavelli knew it. Rulers were not born. They were engineered through relentless conditioning. You are no different. If you want authority, wealth, and untouchable presence, you must force yourself into habits that carve away weakness and replace it with steel. Understand this. Habits are not about comfort. Habits are shackles you lock onto yourself willingly so that mediocrity never has a chance. Most men obey their emotions. Their aura bleeds weakness. You will do the opposite. You will master your emotions through rituals, through systems, through the daily execution of discipline, no matter how you feel. Each habit you forge sharpens your aura. Each habit you refuse dulls it, and the world only bows to sharpness. Comment below. My habits forge my aura. 2. The tyranny of routine. Most men run from routine. They call it boring. They call it suffocating. That's why their lives are average. That's why their aura is invisible. Understand this. Routine is tyranny, but it's a tyranny that serves you. It enslaves your weakness so your strength can rule. Machiavelli taught that rulers must impose discipline on their states because without structure, chaos wins. Your life is no different. If your days are ruled by chance, by mood, by fleeting motivation, then chaos rules you. You are not sovereign, you are a servant. The man who controls his routine controls his destiny. Routine is not comfort, it is war. Waking at the same hour, training your body without excuse, learning when you'd rather waste time, planning when others drift. These acts are not glamorous, but they are the invisible bricks that build an aura of dominance. Every repetition is a declaration of war against weakness. Every completed ritual whispers to the world, this man cannot be bent. Your aura must broadcast certainty. Certainty is born in discipline, and discipline is born in routine. When others watch you move with precision, they feel it. They sense your steadiness. They trust it. They envy it. They fear it. So embrace the tyranny of routine. Let it chain your weakness so your power can roam free. Comment below. My routine makes me sovereign. 3. The habit of hardness. Comfort is poison. It lulls men into softness, makes them fragile, erodes their edge. Every time you chase comfort, you weaken your aura. Every time you indulge in it, you dull the sharpness that makes people respect, fear, and follow you. Weak men build lives around comfort. Strong men build lives around hardness. Machiavelli understood this truth. He warned rulers never to grow idle in times of peace, because idleness rots kingdoms. He advised that a prince should always prepare for war, even when the battlefield was quiet. Why? Because comfort breeds decay. The man who trains only when danger is visible will be crushed by the one who trains daily in silence. Hardness is preparation. It is choosing struggle when you could choose ease. It is cold mornings, harsh training, deep study, self-denial. Every time you force yourself into discomfort, you carve weakness out of your body and replace it with steel. That steel becomes your aura. It radiates silently. People feel it without understanding why. They sense that you can endure what they cannot. That unsettles them, that fascinates them, that makes them bend. The habit of hardness means refusing the easy option. Taking stairs when others take lifts. Reading when others scroll. Training when others sleep. Building when others waste. Hardness isn't about cruelty to yourself. It's about shaping yourself into something unbreakable. Your aura grows strongest in adversity. Hunger, fatigue, isolation, rejection. These are weights, not enemies. Carry them long enough, and they transform you. The world does not respect the man who chooses comfort. It bows to the man who lives hard and refuses to bend. Comment below. Hardness is my power. 4. Discipline as armor. Discipline is the armor every powerful man wears. Without it, your aura leaks. Without it, your presence feels hollow. With it, you become untouchable. Weak men fall because they rely on motivation. Motivation is fragile. Here today, gone tomorrow. You cannot build an empire on feelings. You must build it on the steel frame of discipline. Machiavelli warned rulers never to depend on fortune, because fortune is chaos. It turns, it shifts, it betrays. The wise prince builds defenses, prepares for drought, and trains armies even in times of peace. That is what discipline is: your fortress against chaos, your shield against temptation, your proof that you command yourself. Understand this clearly. Discipline is not punishment. It is sovereignty. Every time you wake on time, you prove you own your day. Every time you train your body, you prove you own your flesh. Every time you complete work while others are distracted, you prove you own your mind. Discipline is self-government, and self-government is the first step to governing anything greater. People sense discipline. It radiates in silence, in posture, in every controlled movement. The disciplined man doesn't fidget. He doesn't waste words. He doesn't break under pressure. His aura carries gravity, and gravity pulls people in. They may not even know why, but they lean toward the man who radiates order. The disciplined man is feared because he cannot be bribed with laziness. He cannot be seduced by distraction. He cannot be broken by mood swings. His armor is too strong. And when the undisciplined face him, they see their own weakness exposed. That mirror terrifies them. But discipline is not only fear, it is respect. Men respect consistency more than genius. They respect the one who delivers, the one who executes, the one who does what he says every time. Discipline is credibility, and credibility is power. So wear your discipline as armor. Every ritual, every routine, every act of self-mastery is another plate of steel. Build it, layer by layer, until no weakness can pierce you. Because when your aura radiates discipline, you become immovable, and the immovable always wins. Comment below. Discipline is my armor. 5. Rituals of power. Power is not a moment. Power is not a speech, a sudden spark of motivation, or a lucky strike. Power is the slow, brutal accumulation of small acts repeated every single day. Habits are the bricks, rituals are the walls, and when stacked with precision, they create the fortress of your aura. Most men despise rituals because rituals demand consistency. They crave variety, entertainment, stimulation. But that craving is weakness disguised as taste. The men who rise, the rulers, the predators, the untouchable, understand that repetition is not boredom. Repetition is mastery. Machiavelli himself warned rulers never to waste idle time. In peace, train for war. In silence, sharpen the blade. Rituals prepare you for inevitability. When chaos arrives, and it always arrives, your rituals are what keep you sharp, calm, and dangerous. So what are the rituals of power? First, the ritual of the body. Your body is your first fortress. It is the visible declaration of your discipline. Train daily, push weight, run distances, endure cold, deny laziness the chance to breathe. When you carry strength on your frame, people sense it without words. They adjust their tone, they weigh their approach. Physical hardness amplifies the unseen weight of your aura. Second, the ritual of the mind. A man who does not feed his mind daily will be ruled by one who does. Read relentlessly, study strategy, history, psychology, write your thoughts, sharpen your clarity, reflect at night, prepare at dawn. Knowledge is leverage, and leverage commands obedience. The man who trains his mind daily becomes unreadable, unpredictable, unmovable. His aura whispers that he cannot be deceived. Third, the ritual of silence. In a world of endless noise, silence is rebellion. Set aside time each day to disconnect, to withdraw, to be alone with thought. Most men drown in distraction. The rare man who cultivates silence radiates mystery. Mystery unsettles people. It forces them to guess, to project, to fear. Your aura becomes heavy, not because you shout, but because you carry silence like a blade. Fourth, the ritual of planning. Each day must be conquered before it begins. Write your targets, select your priorities, eliminate distractions before they arrive. Machiavelli taught that fortune favors the prepared and preparation favors the ruthless. When you plan, you control not only your actions, but time itself. The unplanned man is a slave to circumstance. The planned man bends circumstance to his will. Fifth, the ritual of denial. Every day, deny yourself something. Skip the comfort, delay the pleasure, resist the indulgence. This ritual trains mastery over desire, the root of weakness. The man who cannot say no to himself is already owned. The man who practices denial grows dangerous because nothing hooks into him. He appears free, and that freedom terrifies those who are chained by cravings. Rituals of power are not glamorous. They are not performed for applause. They are private wars, invisible victories. But their effects cannot be hidden. Over weeks, months, years, rituals carve you into steel. People sense it the moment you walk in. They don't know why, but they feel your presence press against them. It is the aura of inevitability, the aura of a man who has mastered himself through ritual. Understand this clearly. Without ritual, discipline collapses. Without discipline, aura weakens. Without aura, you are invisible. But with ritual, you become inevitable. Comment below. My rituals forge my destiny. 6. The psychology of self-command. The greatest war you will ever fight is not with rivals, not with enemies, not even with the world outside. The greatest war is the one inside your mind. The battle between impulse and reason, comfort and discipline, weakness and strength. If you lose that war, no throne, no crown, no wealth will save you. If you win it, nothing outside can touch you. Self-command is the highest form of power. Without it, your aura is fragile. With it, your aura becomes sovereign. Machiavelli warned that a ruler who cannot govern himself cannot govern his state. A prince consumed by lust, greed, or laziness collapses long before his enemies strike. He is destroyed not by others, but by his own appetites. The same is true for you. The undisciplined man is his own assassin. The disciplined man is his own fortress. Self-command means ruling your mind as ruthlessly as a king rules his court. Thoughts are subjects, desires are servants, emotions are tools. They exist, but they obey. You wake when you command, not when you feel like it. You work when it is scheduled, not when it is convenient. You endure pain, not because you enjoy it, but because pain is no longer your master. You are the ruler. Everything inside you bows. Weak men let feelings govern them. They act only when inspired. They collapse when tired. They avoid when afraid. Their aura bleeds instability, and instability cannot be respected. Strong men reverse the hierarchy. Feelings may whisper, but they never lead. The ruler within gives orders, and the body obeys. Self-command is built through daily trials, forcing yourself to finish when you want to quit, resisting indulgence when temptation burns, holding silence when rage demands release. Each act of restraint adds steel to your aura. Over time, this becomes visible. People feel it in your calm, your steadiness, your refusal to break. They do not see your internal battles, but they feel the weight of your victories. The world constantly tests your self-command. Distractions flood your devices. Comfort calls from every direction. Weak men encourage you to join them in softness. These are not accidents. These are weapons. If you surrender, you hand over your sovereignty. But if you resist, you grow stronger. Every resistance is a construction. Each temptation defeated adds another stone to your fortress. Self-command also demands brutal honesty. You cannot lie to yourself and expect to rule yourself. No excuses, no softening, no illusions. If you fail, admit it. If you delay, admit it. If you break your word, admit it. Lies to yourself are poison. Machiavellian power requires clarity. Illusions weaken, truth sharpens. And here lies the paradox. The man who commands himself commands others without effort. People instinctively trust the one who radiates inner authority. They feel the difference. They sense the weight of a man who refuses to kneel before his own weakness. That presence makes others obey, often without knowing why. His aura declares sovereignty, and sovereignty attracts loyalty. This is the psychology of self-command. To forge an aura so disciplined, so sovereign, so unshakable that the world bends before it. The man who rules himself is unconquerable. The man who governs himself governs everything he touches. Comment below. I command myself, therefore I command reality. 7. Fear and respect as tools. For centuries, leaders, rulers, and conquerors have asked the same question: is it better to be loved or feared? Machiavelli gave the answer without hesitation. It is safer to be feared. Love is fragile. Love shifts with mood, with gossip, with disappointment. But fear runs deeper. Fear binds men to obedience because it speaks to their survival. And yet, Machiavelli also knew that fear alone breeds rebellion. The highest form of power is not love, not fear, but the cold balance between both. To be respected is to be admired. To be feared is to be obeyed. When both exist in harmony, betrayal becomes unthinkable. Your aura must radiate that duality, the warmth of respect, the edge of fear. You must be the man people admire for his discipline, his mastery, his presence, but also the man they would never dare to cross. That balance makes your aura magnetic and untouchable. Understand this: fear is not cruelty. Fear is consequence. It means you enforce your word. If you draw a boundary, it is final. If you promise a price, it is paid. Weak men forgive endlessly, overlook disrespect, and cheapen their own aura. Strong men punish betrayal absolutely. This does not require shouting, rage, or chaos. It requires consistency. When people learn that crossing you always carries weight, they choose respect, or they choose silence. Either way, your aura strengthens. Respect, on the other hand, is born from mastery. People respect the man who governs himself, because most cannot. They respect the man who delivers results, because most fail. They respect the man who speaks less, but delivers more. Respect is admiration built through discipline, silence, and proof. You don't demand it, you embody it. Fear and respect together create gravity. They pull people toward you, they silence rivals, they command allies, and they create loyalty not built on fantasy, but on psychology. History proves it. Leaders who ruled only by fear fell to rebellion. Leaders who ruled only by love fell to betrayal. But those who ruled with both became legends. So, how do you cultivate this balance? First, define your boundaries. Never allow disrespect to pass unnoticed. The moment you overlook it, you weaken your aura. Enforce consequences quickly and decisively, not with emotion, but with finality. This is fear in its purest form, certainty that wrongs will always carry cost. Second, embody discipline. Respect comes from what people see daily. Your routine, your focus, your calm in chaos. People are drawn to men who can govern themselves. Discipline is respect made visible. Third, reward loyalty. Fear without reward breeds resentment. Respect without consequence breeds weakness. You must reward those who stand with you. Recognition, generosity, or opportunity, given strategically, cements their loyalty. People remember who gave when others withheld. Fourth, Remain unpredictable. Predictability breeds contempt. Keep people uncertain about your next move. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler should be both fox and lion. The lion terrifies, the fox deceives. When you are both, people hesitate to challenge you. Fifth, silence as presence. The man who speaks little commands more. Silence creates mystery, and mystery amplifies both fear and respect. When you do speak, every word becomes a decree. When you balance fear and respect, your aura communicates one truth. Following you leads to growth. Opposing you leads to destruction. This balance turns enemies into warnings and allies into shields. It builds an environment where loyalty is natural, not forced. Remember this, people will not admit it, but they crave rulers. They crave authority. They crave someone whose presence silences doubt. Be that presence. Enforce boundaries like steel. Reward loyalty like a king. Project discipline like stone. This is the architecture of the untouchable aura. Fear without respect is tyranny. Respect without fear is fragility. But together, they create an aura so commanding, so sovereign, that betrayal dies before it's born. Comment below. I rule with fear and respect. 8. Wealth as a weapon. Most men misunderstand wealth. They think it is comfort. They think it is luxury. They think it is a soft pillow at night and a table full of food. That is the mistake of the masses. True power does not view wealth as pleasure. True power views wealth as a weapon. Machiavelli taught that resources are the lifeblood of states. Without them, no army can march, no city can stand, no prince can remain sovereign. The same law applies to you. Wealth is not decoration. It is ammunition. It buys obedience. It buys silence. It buys time, but only if you control it. If money controls you, you are not sovereign. You are a slave with gold chains. The masses worship money. They spend to impress. They consume to feel alive. They display to hide their emptiness. But their aura reeks of dependence. The man who cannot live without constant spending radiates weakness. He shows the world that his worth lies in objects, not in himself. Power is not found in excess, it is found in restraint. The man who could buy but chooses not to displays more authority than the man who flaunts. Wealth, when wielded correctly, reshapes your aura. It makes you untouchable, not because of what you show, but because of what you control. When people know you have resources, they treat you differently. They hesitate before crossing you. They calculate before speaking against you. Money in your possession is not just currency, it is leverage. And leverage is fear in silent form. So how do you weaponize wealth? First, control consumption. Do not buy to impress. Do not spend to feel alive. Every coin must serve your sovereignty. Invest in your body. Invest in your mind. Invest in your systems. Every dollar wasted is a soldier killed before battle. Every dollar invested is an army waiting to fight for you. Second, create scarcity. Do not make yourself or your resources easy to reach. Scarcity creates value. When people know your help is rare, they fight harder to earn it. When they know your approval is priceless, they beg for it. Use money as you use presence, sparingly, deliberately, strategically. Third, practice generosity as manipulation. The weak give to be liked. The strong give to be remembered. A gift delivered with precision can create loyalty deeper than words. A strategic favor can bind a man to you for years, but never give without purpose. Generosity without intent is weakness. Generosity with calculation is dominance. Fourth guard mystery. Never reveal the full extent of your wealth. A man who shows everything becomes a target. A man who shows nothing appears poor. But the man who reveals selectively creates speculation. They wonder how much more you hold. That wondering builds intimidation. Fifth, detach completely. Wealth must never own you. If you need it to feel strong, it has already conquered you. You must be able to walk away from it, burn it if necessary, abandon it without hesitation. Detachment terrifies people because it makes you unbuyable. The man who cannot be purchased is the man who cannot be controlled. Wealth, when wielded as a weapon, amplifies your aura. It makes your silence heavier. It makes your decisions final. It makes your enemies hesitate. It transforms you from participant into player. But never forget, money is not the end. It is the instrument. The true power lies not in gold, but in how you use it. History proves it. Dynasties lasted not because of treasure alone, but because they used treasure strategically, building armies, buying allies, silencing rivals. Fortune is fragile, but strategy makes it lethal. That is how you must see wealth, not as luxury, not as comfort, but as sharpened steel. So train yourself to wield money as a tool. Do not chase it, do not worship it, control it, weaponize it, and let it serve your rise. Then your aura will broadcast one message: I am sovereign, I am untouchable. Wealth bends to me. Comment below, I wield wealth as a weapon. 9. The untouchable aura. The path has been brutal. Discipline, rituals, self-command, fear, respect, wealth, all bricks in a fortress. But the question remains, what is the summit? What is the final product of these principles forged into one? The answer is simple yet rare: the untouchable aura. The untouchable aura is not an illusion. It is not charisma painted over weakness. It is not noise or show or desperate posturing. It is the gravitational field of a man who has forged himself into inevitability. It is the silent force that bends rooms, that shifts eyes, that commands without asking. It is when men respect you before they know you, and women sense your strength before you speak. It is when your aura broadcasts dominance not through words but through the undeniable weight of who you are. Machiavelli understood this principle. He wrote that power is maintained not by force alone, but by perception. Appear strong, appear certain, appear inevitable, and the world treats you as such. The untouchable aura is that perception made flesh. It is power visible, presence sharpened, and self-sovereignty projected. So how do you forge it? First, self-government absolute. You must master yourself completely. Every emotion, every impulse, every weakness must obey you. Anger does not command you. Fear does not paralyze you. Lust does not blind you. Comfort does not seduce you. You are sovereign over your inner kingdom. Men who cannot rule themselves are ruled by others. Men who rule themselves cannot be ruled at all. The untouchable aura begins with inner monarchy. Second, discipline as default. Your aura weakens when you hesitate, when you falter, when you excuse. The disciplined man radiates certainty because he has lived certainty. He wakes on command, he trains on command, he works on command. His life is a rhythm of execution. Others feel it. They sense the consistency. They trust it, envy it, or fear it, but they never ignore it. Third, scarcity of presence. The untouchable man is not everywhere. He is not constantly seen, constantly accessible, constantly available. His presence is rare and therefore heavy. People lean in when he speaks because he does not speak often. They remember encounters because they are not common. Scarcity multiplies value. Presence withheld makes presence priceless. Fourth, mastery of silence. Silence is a blade sharper than speech. Weak men drown rooms in words. Strong men wield silence. They let others fill the air, reveal themselves, expose their insecurities. Then, when silence breaks, a single word lands like a decree. Silence unsettles. Silence builds mystery. Silence makes your aura feel heavier than sound ever could. Fifth, fear and respect in balance. The untouchable aura demands both. Fear is consequence. Respect is admiration. Together they form the dual wall that protects your authority. Reward loyalty so men cling closer. Punish betrayal so they hesitate forever. Be admired for your mastery, but feared for your finality. This balance makes opposition shrink before it begins. Sixth, wealth wielded, not worshipped. The untouchable man does not chase money. He bends it, he controls it, he uses it as leverage, as influence, as a weapon. His aura whispers detachment. He cannot be bought, he cannot be bribed, and because he cannot be purchased, he becomes priceless. That detachment makes him terrifying. Seventh, the aura of inevitability. The final layer is inevitability. You must project through action and consistency that you cannot be stopped. Losses come, but you rise. Setbacks hit, but you transform them. Failures arrive, but you bend them into fuel. People look at you and feel destiny, not chance. They sense that opposing you is useless because you will win in the end. This aura bends reality itself. The untouchable aura is not loud, it is not flamboyant, it is not desperate, it is cold, sharp, disciplined. It is the aura of the lion who does not need to roar because his presence alone silences the jungle. It is the aura of the fortress that does not need banners because its walls already tower. It is the aura of inevitability, the sense that you cannot be broken, cannot be bent, cannot be ignored. Understand this. Most men will never achieve it. They will talk of power, but cling to comfort. They will admire discipline, but never live it. They will envy strength, but never forge it. That is why the untouchable aura is rare, and rarity is value. You will be sought after because you are scarce. You will be respected because you are disciplined. You will be feared because you are sovereign. This is the summit of aura training, the place where you no longer ask for loyalty, it is given. Where you no longer chase wealth, it chases you. Where you no longer prove strength, it is assumed. This is what you must build, brick by brick, habit by habit, ritual by ritual, until your aura becomes unshakable. The untouchable aura is not luck, it is design. It is Machiavellian strategy applied to the self. It is dark psychology woven into daily discipline. It is masculine stoicism hardened into presence. Forge it, and the world bends. Fail, and the world consumes you. Comment below. My aura is untouchable. 10. The final ascension. You have walked through the fire. You have been given the laws of discipline, the rituals of power, the psychology of self-command, the balance of fear and respect, and the weaponization of wealth. You have climbed through layers of philosophy and strategy to stand here before the last gate. And this gate leads to ascension, the transformation into the sovereign self, the man who cannot be bent, the man whose aura is untouchable. Understand this truth. Most men will never ascend. They will hear words like these and nod. They will fantasize for an hour, then collapse back into weakness. They will cling to comfort, to distraction, to validation. They will live as shadows, not rulers. But you, if you take these principles, if you carve them into your bones, if you execute them daily, you will ascend. You will become rare. And what is rare is always powerful. The final ascension is not symbolic. It is not poetic. It is practical. It is the point where everything you do, every habit, every decision, every silence, every refusal, broadcasts sovereignty. The world senses it. Men respect it. Women feel it. Enemies hesitate before it, and opportunities lean toward it. The final ascension is the transformation of the man into the fortress. What does it require? First, absolute detachment. You must sever the chains of need for comfort, need for approval, need for constant reward. The ascended man does not chase applause. He does not live for validation. He moves whether the world praises him or condemns him. He is unmoved by noise. This detachment is terrifying because it makes you unbuyable, and the unbuyable cannot be controlled. Second, embrace of chaos. Weak men pray for calm seas. Strong men build ships for storms. The ascended man does not fear chaos. He bends it. He thrives in it. When crises erupt, he is calm. When empires fall, he endures. When betrayal cuts, he grows sharper. Chaos is not his enemy. Chaos is his forge. Third, mastery of loyalty. Loyalty is not begged, it is engineered. The ascended man rewards loyalty, so it deepens, and punishes betrayal, so it dies. People stay not because they are chained, but because they sense the cost of leaving and the value of staying. This is Machiavellian statecraft applied to the self. It turns followers into shields and enemies into warnings. Fourth, dominion over wealth. Money is no longer desire, it is tool. The ascended man does not flaunt, does not worship, does not depend. He deploys wealth strategically, to expand, to silence, to fortify. He uses it, but it never uses him. This detachment creates an aura of inevitability. People sense he cannot be tempted, cannot be bought, cannot be swayed. That makes him untouchable. Fifth, legacy thinking. The ascended man does not live for the moment. He thinks in decades. Every act is a stone in a monument. Every choice is a seed for forests he may never walk in. He builds structures, systems, and principles that outlive him. That long vision bends the short-sighted, because no one can defeat the man who plays the longest game. Sixth, inevitability. The final ascension requires you to radiate inevitability, not arrogance, not boasting, but certainty. Even in failure, you rise. Even in defeat, you transform. Even in loss, you sharpen. You broadcast one message: I cannot be stopped. People sense it. They align with it. They follow it, because no one wants to fight destiny. The final ascension is the summit of aura training. It is when you no longer explain, you demonstrate. You no longer seek, you attract. You no longer chase, you are chased. It is when your aura becomes legend before your name is even spoken. But hear this. Ascension requires death. The death of the weak self. The death of excuses. The death of laziness. The death of softness. You must bury the fragile version of you and forge the sovereign version. Most men fear this death, so they remain average. The few who embrace it rise into rarity, and rarity is power. This is what you must become. The man whose aura is not touched by gossip, not broken by betrayal, not seduced by comfort. The man who radiates sovereignty, who rules himself, who bends reality through sheer presence. That is the final ascension. The world will not recognize you when you rise. It will not applaud, but it will obey. Now ask yourself, will you remain ordinary, drowned in distraction, forgotten as dust? Or will you ascend? Will you force yourself into the fire of discipline until your aura burns brighter than the sun? Will you kill the weak self so the sovereign self can live? The choice is yours, and the choice is final. Comment below. I ascend beyond limits. And if you are ready to keep forging this fortress of the mind, then do it now. Like this video, subscribe to Mental Fort, and turn on notifications. Every principle here is a weapon, but weapons dull unless sharpened. Return, sharpen, and rise. Because power is not chance, wealth is not luck, aura is not magic. They are all forged, and the forge never closes.